The second one on the right just displays a black screen. So we've got power going in, we've got a red light coming on, but there's no display. So it powers on fine, the red light comes on. It does change to 576p, like it's expecting an image, but nothing appears on the screen. It could be a number of things, I guess. It could be the AV port at the back. It could be the cartridge slot. It could just be corroded inside, or it might have some dry solder joints, or it could be something a little bit more serious. Oh, this one's a teeny tiny bit rustier inside. Oh, it is different. There's a heatsink there. That wasn't on the other one, was it? And that red thing wasn't. Even though it's the same model number, it does look different. The shielding is different as well. I'm going to have to look back at the video. Am I just going crazy? I'll put a comparison up. Console 1. Console 2. Yeah, it's definitely different. There's more screws in this. There we go. Right, I didn't look at the other one, but that says PC, BD, MD2, VA1, PAL. What did the other one say? Anyway, the good news is the board doesn't look that bad, considering all the rust that's on the shielding. The board looks pretty clean. Let's take the board out. Do you know what as well? This controller port has got screws in, and the other one didn't. Alright, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get this under the microscope and have a close look. Is that capacitor factory? Looks a bit weird. I don't know. There's nothing jumping out at me, so let's get this under the microscope. I suppose the best place to start actually would be the AV port, wouldn't it? Let's start there, which is coincidentally where that capacitor is. Is that factory? Why is there a capacitor there? Don't remember seeing that on the other one either. Well, all the solder joints, I mean, they're a bit dull, but they look fine. Oh, hang on. That one's not, is it? Well, that's the power port, isn't it? And it did power on, but I'll redo that. Would that make it not display? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm worried about that capacitor. In fact, it looks like it's touching there, doesn't it? It looks like this blob here is touching this one here. I don't think it is. It's very, very close though, isn't it? Right, well, there's clear daylight between those now. Right, I'm just going to redo these solder joints here because they're not great, and then I'll try it again. I don't think that's going to make any difference, but it needs doing, so I might as well do it now. Much better. See if we can see anything else. Let's have a look under the cartridge slot. They actually look okay. They're very dull, but I suppose I could just go over those as well while I'm here, but that will take a while, so I don't know what they are there, but I mean, because I found something there, and the fact that that capacitor looked like it was touching where it shouldn't be, I'm just going to give this another try. Before I go poking around everywhere else, I might as well see what happens. Right, that didn't work. I didn't think it would, but it was worth a try. I'm just going to look at this side of the cartridge slot. Looking for anything out of place, anything bent, anything corroded. No, that all looks fine. I'll carry on looking round. If I find anything, then I'll report back. A blob of solder there. That wasn't me. Right, I can't see anything obvious. There's no... From what I can see, there are no broken traces. There doesn't look like there's any damaged components. Nothing obviously damaged anyway. I keep coming back to this capacitor and wondering why it's there. Because it just does not look factory to me. That. I'm guessing this one here is a ground. And then where does this go? This one goes... this pin here, which is obviously one of the pins on the output. There definitely wasn't one of those on the other one, but then this is a different board. So that's throwing me slightly. Right, because I think that's been added afterwards, and I've no idea why, I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to see if it makes any difference. I don't know why it's there. I mean, it might be factory, in which case I'm an idiot. But you know, if it turns out that this doesn't make any difference, I'll just pop it back on. Right, it's off. I'm just going to try it now. You know, I've got nothing to lose. Right, I've just popped this capacitor back on because it didn't make any difference, and just in case it's really important. Thought I'd better put it back on. I'm still not convinced that it's factory, but I genuinely got no idea. I've had a quick look online. I can't see any information to suggest that it should be or shouldn't be there. If anyone knows in the comments what a 47 microfarad resistor is doing, please let me know. I mean, it's possible I might still find a solution to this, but at the minute I'm kind of stuck. I think probably what I'll do is I'll just give the cartridge slot a good clean. I'd love to just find a broken trace somewhere that goes from the main chip perhaps to the output. I think what I'll probably do is I will follow the output points here all the way as far as I can. See if there are any breaks anywhere maybe. Right, I think I found something. I don't know how significant it is, but look here. They look like they're joined together. There's like a big solder blob on the top. Now, I'm not sure what this chip is. T9308 EFI. There's a solder blob on the top there. Just pinged off. And I found another one somewhere else, so I'm guessing this has had work done to it. But I don't think that's good, because I'm guessing that's a ground, and that's not. And those two are definitely shorting together. I mean, I don't know whether it is that. Like I said, I'm not sure what that chip does. If I find out, I'll put it up on the screen. But yeah, while we're here, let's see if we can unbridge those connections and see if that makes any difference. It would be quite remarkable if it was that. Doesn't look like there's a lot of solder on any of these, to be perfectly honest. I guess they don't need a lot, but I mean, I've not added solder there. There was already that blob on there. Right, let's give that a go. Alright, that didn't work. It's interesting because it's now making a little noise, a little buzzing noise through the speakers of the TV, whereas it wasn't before. Now, quite clearly, those two pins should not have been bridged together, but it's not fixed the problem. So whatever that was probably done whilst someone else has been trying to fix this. So whilst it was a fault, it's not the fault, unfortunately. There's all sorts of stuff in there. What's that green thing there? What the hell? Well, wherever that is, I can't get it out. There we go. What the hell is that? What is that? Well, that's not going to help, is it? Let's get rid of that. That's strange. Like part of someone's jumper. I mean, I've just given this a quick clean with some IPA, but the fact that that was in there has got me a bit worried now. Yeah, I mean, apart from that, it actually all looks okay, doesn't it? I don't know if to take it off or not, or whether to just reflow, because I don't know what's going on underneath. It's possible there's some, trace damage underneath. It doesn't look like there's any from this side of the board, but I mean, I don't fancy removing all of that solder, to be perfectly honest. I think on the off chance that it is just a dry or cracked solder joint there, but not that I can see one, I'm just going to quickly reflow all of these. I'm not going to add any more solder. I'm just going to tap the soldering iron on each one and just to try and reflow it. And then if that doesn't do it, I might take it off. I don't think that's going to have made any difference, but I'm going to try it. No, that made no difference. Back to the drawing board. Alright, found something else. There's a solder blob there. It's gone now. I wish I'd have checked whether those those two pins were shorting together before I removed it. I'm going to have to go around this entire board. It looks like somebody has not heeded the advice of whoever it was who told me not to tin the soldering iron over the board. Because guess what? They were right. Oh, would you look at that? just move this capacitor out of the way. Look what's going on down there. It's our friend corrosion. Where do these go? So that one goes to this. That must be a ground. Okay, so that's probably not that important. In fact, they're both grounds, aren't they? Because they both go to this big ground plane here. So chances are that's got nothing to do with it. This should be going to a ground, which it is. And that one is as well. So even though there's corrosion there, I don't think that was the problem. I'll just clean that up. I'm disappointed. I really thought I'd found something there. Well, I did. I found a bit of corrosion, but... Right, let's carry on. Right, I think I might have found something else. I've come back to this chip, and I wasn't happy with down here because it does look like there's corrosion. There's obviously corrosion on there. And I've just checked the continuity of all of these legs of this chip to make sure they're going where they're going. And this last one here does not appear to be going where it should do. And hopefully I can show you on here. So it's goes from here, and it goes down, follow it round here, and it goes into this chip here. And this is the main CPU. So if I just got my leads on continuity, and if I put this one here, and then come across to this point, nothing. So there's no continuity between that leg of that chip and the CPU. There. But I can't see anywhere where that track is broken. It all looks fine to me, so I'm a little bit confused unless it's here. What I might do is just scrape some of this back. Yeah, it's broken there, isn't it? The one next to it doesn't look too clever either, but it does actually make a connection from there to this wire. But there's nothing there, is there? I'll just double check it with the multimeter, but I'm pretty sure that there's a tiny hairline gap there. So still on continuity. No, nothing. I wonder if that's it. This is just, it's taken me ages to get to this point. I've been checking these traces for what seems like hours. I wonder if I can just bridge that with a bit of solder. I could run a little tiny wire. That'd probably be a better way of doing it. Right, let's get that done. See if it fixes the problem. Right, I think I've got it eventually. Right, I'm happy with that. If it's okay, then I'll put some solder mask over it. I'm just going to check it for continuity now and see what we've got. So we'll go from the same point over. I need to clean this board up, don't I? There's all things everywhere. Right, where does it go? It goes from that point round into this leg of this chip. Just make sure we're on that. Yep. And let's see if we've got continuity now. Yes, we do. Excellent. Right, I'm really hopeful now. I mean, it's not I've done quite a few things to this. I've actually started to lose track. There was a few solder blobs at bridging pins together, random capacitor in. I don't know. It's obvious that someone's worked on this board before, and maybe they've tried to fix it and they've missed that, because it's easy to miss. I've literally gone across every single pin on this board pretty much, and every single trace to make sure it's going where it's supposed to be going. But I don't know what else they've done to it. Let's go for it and let's see if that's made any difference. Right, so we've got it connected up. Let's see what it's doing now. Still got the red light. Oh! Oh, it flashed up there, didn't it? But it's still not come on. Well, that's a good thing, because it definitely hasn't done that before. What could that be now? It just did it again. So it's coming on and it's going straight back off again. So that to me means the AV port is okay, because it's obviously outputting the signal when it's allowed to. Something's not allowing it. I'm going to have to carry on going around this board. There may be more traces broken. I'm not sure what's going on here. Just come across this. It looks like melted plastic. As a result, I can't see what's going on underneath there. I mean, I don't know what that is. What is that 101? Is that some kind of a filter of some description? I don't know. Or is that... because there's multiple... it's like multiple components in one there. I'm not sure what they are. I don't like the look of it though. I don't fully understand what's going on. What would cause that? Oh, there we go. Is it more... it's plastic. How odd. Anyway, that looks fine, doesn't it? Under there. Yeah. Right, I've been poking around this board. I'm beginning to think it might be the crystal. Now, admittedly, I don't really know how to measure it properly, but I can see it's 53.2 megahertz. And if I go to the output from this crystal, I'm not getting anywhere near that. Now I put the multimeter onto hertz, to the frequency setting, power on the console. I use this as the ground, and then the output is here, and you go and get 13 megahertz, which is what, a quarter of what it should be. I mean, is that right? I don't really know. So it is giving a reading, but I would have expected it to be 53.2 megahertz. I could be wrong though. It wouldn't be the first time. Right, tell you what I'm going to do, because I have a working one from the last video. I'm going to open that one back up, and I'm going to test the frequency on the crystal on that one. If it's 13, fair enough, I'm barking up the wrong tree yet again. If it's something different, then I know I'm kind of in the right ballpark. Right, there you go. You can clearly see the difference between these two boards now, apart from my lovely modification I did. Yeah. So this is the first one that I repaired. It's completely different. It really is. And I mean, the crystals here, it looks exactly the same, which is good. It's in a different position. So yeah, let's have a look. So we've got This is PCBD MD2 VA4. That's VA1, so this is obviously a much later version. Interesting. Anyway, this is the working one. This is the not working one. Let's see if we can get a measurement on this. I can't see where the output is though. Whereas it's fairly obvious on this. I wonder if that's on the other side of the board. Right, I think I've found where the crystal goes by following the traces. It appears to go here and then into the chip, and that's giving me 13 megahertz. So that must be right, or I don't know, but it's reading the same as it is on the faulty one. I'm probably not doing that correctly. I've never done that before. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. So I don't think it's the crystal. So what the hell is it? I'm wondering whether it's a capacitor issue, but they all look fine. I've looked at all of them. I don't want to go replacing them if it's not going to make any difference. Or whether it's the control, whether it's the cartridge slot. I have run the soldering iron over every single one of these just to make sure it's making a good connection. But what I can't really see is what's going on underneath. I've also checked continuity from here to here, and there is continuity in every single one of these pins. So they're definitely going down here. There's just something in my mind, like a gut instinct that it's this. I mean, it's a lot of desoldering to do for potentially no reason. But I'm starting to lose a bit of hope. So I think I might do it. Right, I'm going to do it. I'll probably do a jump cut to when it's done, because it's going to take ages. Oh dear, I think I might have lifted a couple of traces there. Yep. Hopefully that'll still be okay. That one's loose as well, but it looks like it's still connected. And that one. I'm guessing I did that when I'm taking it off. I don't know. It could have already been like that. This might have been off before. I'm not seeing anything that I wanted to see. I don't know what I was expecting, to be perfectly honest. I thought I might see some corrosion or, you know, some broken traces. Yeah, everything looks fine, doesn't it? Oh, I feel like I've just wasted my time there. And made it a bit worse. Right, I can't see anything wrong with the traces under here, so I'm going to try and put this back on. I've probably done more harm than good by doing this, but, you know, it wasn't working anyway, so it was worth checking. Right, so I don't think that's going to have made any difference, but I've connected it all back up. So let's see what we're getting now. There we go, it's flashing up again. So I haven't made it worse than it was. Still doing the same thing though. So I don't think it's anything to do with the cartridge port. I'm starting to lose hope with this one now. I think I might stop the only other thing I can think of is to replace the capacitors, but there's so many of them that it's going to take me a long time to do it. Right, I'm not ready to give up on this just yet. I'm very close, don't get me wrong. But I want to check these capacitors, even though they look fine. I just want to see, what's going on, particularly around the output here. So I'm gonna unsolder around the AV port there. I'm obviously not gonna. Well, I'll film it, and I'll, if anything, if I find anything, I'll report back. Okay, so checked every single capacitor, taken them all off. They're all here. Every single one was reading okay, but I've swapped them all out anyway. So the whole board has got brand new capacitors on. So if it is going to be the capacitors, I don't think it is, because they all read fine. I used my tester here. I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing with it, but the microfarad reading was okay on all of them. So I'm assuming they're all right. But I thought, while I'm taking them out, I might as well put new ones in just to be on the safe side. So I'm now going to go and test this again. I don't think it's going to have made any difference, purely because they were reading okay. But, it's worth a try. No, still doing exactly the same thing. So occasionally it will flash up with the SEGA license bit, and then it'll just go straight off again. So I'm still not convinced by the clock, the crystal oscillator. And whilst I've been working on this today, I ordered an oscillating machine, whatever they're called. Oscilloscope, that's what they're called, from Amazon, and it's arrived. And now I've got no idea how to use it, but it switches on, which is nice. And I've been looking online at where the clock signals go. I mean, I'm going to give it a go, but I don't, like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. This is set to 1 times. There's 1 times and 10 times. 1 times is 5 volts, which I think is okay for this. I don't know what any of the other buttons do, but I suppose I'm only going to find out by practice. Let's just move this out of the way and zoom in a bit. Right, so I'm just plugging the system in. Obviously, I'm not going to put the power on just yet. I've got the ground of the oscilloscope on this ground here, and from what I've read, the crystal outputs to FB. I think it's FB1, which is is it a ferrite bead? So I'm assuming let's switch it on. Let's just see what happens. Right, so the power's on. Got the red light here. Can you see that? Just about. And let's just tap. Oh. Oh, maybe it is that then, because that's not doing a great deal, is it? Oh, but it is there. So that's FB13. And that's showing 5.1 volts, 5.2 volts, 690 kilohertz. And on the other side of it, showing 8.5 volts and 690 kilohertz. Right, I don't really know. I read that it was this FB1, and it is, the line's moving up, but there's no. Yeah, there's no reading there, is there? Maybe it is this. I'll try and find out which is the clock for the CPU. Right, so this chip here, from what I've read, is a Z80. Although it doesn't say that on it, and the clock should be on this top pin here, which actually goes to that via. So I'm just going to put my probe in that via. Ah, there we go. So we're getting 8.8 volts, 453 kilohertz. Now again, I don't know if that's right or not. But there's definitely a signal there, isn't there? I'm not sure this is helping me because I'm just getting, like I said, I don't really know how this works. So I'm getting myself all confused now. Right, I think I might do it the old-fashioned way and take this off and swap it with the one from the working Mega Drive. At least then I can rule it out. So I'm going to take the crystal out of the working Mega Drive and then I'm going to pop it on here. So I'll come back to it once I've taken that one out. Okay, that's the one out of the working one. So I just need to take this one off here. And I'll just do it in the same way. There we go. Right, I don't know which way around to do this. I think I might put this one, which is the faulty one, which I am going to mark with a Sharpie, with an F. So if I put this one into the working Mega Drive and it works, then I guess I don't need to bother putting that one onto the faulty Mega Drive. Because this might not work and there might still be something else wrong with this one. So this is probably a good way of eliminating that. Right, so that's the faulty crystal on the good Mega Drive. Let's test that. I'm turning it on now. Okay, so it's not faulty at all, because that works. Right, well, I might as well leave that one in there now because, you know, that other one is still working. Pop this one on here, so at least I know it's not that. So it's still something else. Do you know what? I think I might have to give up on this very soon. Right, I suppose I've got to now test this just to double check that that's not working now with the different crystal in. I'm pretty sure it's not going to, but I've got to test it. Right, okay, powering on now. Nope. Alright, so what is the left to do? I've replaced all of the capacitors. I've swapped the crystal over. I've repaired the trace damage that was here. What else have I done? I feel like I've done loads to this. It's hard to keep track. Oh yeah, I took the cartridge port off, put it back on, checked the traces underneath, everything was fine. I really don't know what to do now. And one thing I haven't tried, I put this capacitor back on at some point. I haven't tried it with it off after all the other capacitors have been replaced. If anyone does know what this capacitor is there for, please let me know. It's driving me insane. It's doing the same thing. So as far as I'm concerned, that capacitor is useless. It's not serving a purpose. But someone must have put it there for a reason. But what that reason is, I don't know. I've just been searching online for the what these chips are. This here is the MB3514, which is made by Fujitsu, which is the RGB encoder chip. It's the only thing left that I can think that it could possibly be. Now I can't remember because I've removed solder blobs and I didn't repair any traces on this one, but everything looks fine, doesn't it? But how do I check if that chip's okay without removing it? Or do I have to remove it and swap it with the other one? Yeah, I don't know if this would operate the same as like a modern console, as in these capacitors would short to ground. I suppose they would do if the chip was bad. Right, well, I mean, maybe it's supposed to, but the first one I've checked there is shorting on both sides. I don't know whether it's supposed to though. Check some of the others. So I think these might be in line because there's no ground on those at all. Right, I'm slightly confused right now. So this, I need to find out what that is. I need to look up the pinout for this chip. This leg here is going to ground. It doesn't look like a ground to me. I followed it round and it goes all the way into the CPU over here. I think it's one of these round here. That one. That doesn't look like a ground, does it? But then if I go from here and tap a ground, it is showing to ground. I mean, it could be, but I don't think so. Maybe it is. Right, I found the pinouts for that chip, and that leg is number 7, which is NTSC/PAL in. That should not be shorting to ground, should it? But why is it? That's got to be the problem. Is it the chip? I think this is the equivalent chip on the working Mega Drive. Obviously it's a different one again. But according to the pinouts for this chip, the RGB one, which is here, is not connected, which is not, doesn't go anywhere. So would that go to ground? No. No, it doesn't. So why would it not be connected on here, but it's connected on the other and going to ground? Right. Once again, not for the first time, I'm getting confused. Right, I've been looking around this board now for about an hour. And I think I might have found something. This here. Doesn't look like much, does it? But from this point here, we follow it round, it goes into here. Does it go to that one? Yeah, from there into there. Right, multimeter on continuity. And we'll go from there to the via. Nothing. Nothing. Right, so I've scraped all that back now, and if you look between here and here, there's no continuity. Between there and there is. Between there and there. So there's a little break here, even though it doesn't look like it. Oh god, I hope that's it. I wonder if I could just bridge that with a bit of solder. Well, it's definitely looks like it's bridged them together, but in a nice little mountain. We've got it from here to here now. Yes, we do. I think I'm just going to test it as it is. If it does work, I'm going to run a jumper wire because it'll obviously be more secure, be a better repair, but I'm just going to test it now and see what it does now. I'm actually quite hopeful. Probably shouldn't be. Right, 300th time lucky. No. Oh, it's still exactly the same. How? Oh. Right, well that didn't work. I really thought I'd found something. Well, I did find something else there. There was definitely a broken trace there, wasn't there? But it's made no difference. So that means there's still something else wrong with this. Oh, wow. Right, that's it. I'm calling it a day. I can't. I could literally spend all week on this. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to call it a day. You can tell I'm disappointed, but I really can't see where to go next. So I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna hope that someone watching can point me in the right direction. And if you can, that'd be fantastic. And then, you know, maybe I'll come back to it in the future. But in the meantime, thanks very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully I'll have better luck.